Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, where we are interrogating Meekins here. Oh well, we're cross-examining his testimony, we're not really interrogating him. And we are trying to prove some more contradictions in what he's saying. So, to enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it, which we know because we've got the record. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. Yeah, so you're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. So I'm thinking the problem with the ID card is that the ID card he says he would have used to get in, right? So we've got the record here. So we can see there Bruce Goodman at 5:14 PM. So that's fine. Where is the actual ID card itself? There. So this was found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. We picked this up, didn't we? Which doesn't really make sense, because how can it have been used at the evidence room and be on the floor at the crime scene at the prosecutor's office at the same time? It surely can't, right? So I'm guessing this isn't a fake, the one we picked up, so could someone have maybe manipulated the record in some way or something like that, I guess? And this is definitely his card. So I'm thinking we present that. One thing, to enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. So I think this is the one we want to present this on. We don't want to press that button, we want to press this button. Objection! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. Right, I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. ... Your Honour, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Ah, something important enough to fill out this report. So could that have been him filling that out to say he'd lost his card? Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order, order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order, order, order! Does the prosecution have a response? ... I have only one thing to say to the defence. ... Bravo, Mr. Wright. But bravo. Allow me to summarise the defence's argument. At 5:15 PM on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well, it seems you've finally realised exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defence has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the weapon. Yeah, that's kind of backfired on us a little bit, hasn't it? Because it's now ruined our argument of both murders happening at the same time. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honour. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object and wait and see what happens. Now, some of you guys have been commented to say that this is never, like, a thing that we actually choose, or, like, it never seems to be a good option, and that, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, why would you just wait and see what happens? Object. Not sure on what grounds you're objecting, but there we go. One moment, Your Honour. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Which we know. Yeah, okay, we're just watching the same thing. So this is the interesting part though, right? Where we see that something's been stuffed into that top left locker, which I'm guessing is probably the coat. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. ... The defence demands further examination into the truth of the matter. ... Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honour. If this court were to examine this further, for witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honour. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. Okay, this just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honour, the defence would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name, before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would like to testify. What is his or her name? Oh, okay, well... luck, I was spamming the button there, so it's lucky it didn't accidentally do it. Right, we can, like, potentially call any of these people? That's kind of weird. Alright, well, we want to call Marshall, right? Because he's the only one we can point the finger at. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defence's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honour. Court is now in recess. Okay, recess time. February the 24th, 11:32 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. ... There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana! You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? ... Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. ... Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. What was that about? Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Oh, okay, we're gonna hear now. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh-ho! Oh-ho-ho! 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 You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received. Right, so we're going to have to look through this. The files for the Joe Darke killings sold 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. ... Oh, what? Now that I've brought your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana! This SL9 incident, is that... ... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Darke killings. The... Joe Darke... No, no, Lana. That's over with. No! What's going on? Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. What is going on? Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, and Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't just be a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Yeah, okay, we want to take a look at that file before we do anything else then. Alright, to be continued. Excellent. We don't need to save anymore because it auto saves anyway, so I don't know why I always click yes on there, to be honest. February the 24th, 12:14 PM, District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Here he is. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner. Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honour. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. What? Maybe it's best we get on with that quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Doubt we're gonna get that somehow. Okay. Day of the crime.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent travelling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
What? What does any of that mean?
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
Ah, he doesn't know about that? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Alright then, well, time to pick apart Marshall's cross-examination testimony thing for the day of the crime. But we'll do that in the next episode because we're out of time. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kumadin, Paulione, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCom555, Chrissy, Paul James, and Zoltes, and I'll see you next time.